Well, this isn't my usual form of content, but enough people asked, and I realized there wasn't actually a lot of documentation on this tech, so I figured I would make a little demonstration for it. I just want to say that this is not my tech. I didn't create it, nor did I find it, so I'm not going to try and name it or take claim for it or anything like that. I originally found it from a random Japanese movementer on TikTok. He didn't make a tutorial for it. I just watched his videos and then kind of guessed what he was doing. In as basic a terms as I can describe it, it is a Rev Pounce into a Lurch plus a Tap Strafe. You do need to be on MK to perform this, and you do need to know how to do Tap Strafes as well as Lurches. And when I say you need to know how to do Lurches, I mean quite literally in their most basic and most simple of forms. I'm no professional myself. I'm actually quite an amateur at Lurches, but that's all you need to be able to do this. At the bottom of my screen, I have enlarged my input viewer. I've also included my... Yes, that is X. I have my Pounce bound to X, but I put it in the position of Q because I know a lot of people have it on Q. This is just my movement. Obviously, WASD. Q, again, like I said, is my X. C is my crouch. Space is my jump. And again, this is going to probably get me, vilified, but jump is on scroll up and tap strafe is on scroll down. Also, I forgot to mention it, but I also have crouch bound to my mouse 5 button or the front side mouse button. If you're familiar with Revenant movement tech, then you'll know that this utilizes Revenant tap strafe tech. And if you're unfamiliar with what that is, first of all, go read it up on the Apex Movement Wiki. And two, just as a little crash course, a Revenant tap strafe is being able to tap strafe out of his Q, or out of his Pounce. In order to do that, the most important step is that you jump first, then release your Q afterwards. It's not Q first, then try and tap strafe. It's not Q, then jump. It's jump, Q, then tap strafe. And it looks a little like this. But we're not here to learn about that. We're here to learn about this horizontal pounce, as I like to call it. And for that, the only things we have to remember or know is that 1, you jump, then release your Q and tap strafe, not in any other order. 2, the angle at which you're looking at, the height at which you're looking at will drastically change where you launch to or how much height you get in your launch. And just for example, 0, this gives you moderate height. Then the next parameter is +6. If you look at +6 or above, then you will get a lot of height. And if you look at -6 or below, then you'll get not a lot of height at all and you'll stay to the ground. As for the perks you're going to want to choose for this, I typically tend to just go with the tactical cooldown because that brings me back my Q faster and I prefer that. However, it is also possible with Agile Assassin, but it does make it slightly more difficult for a reason that I'll explain in a second here. Similarly to the Rev tap strafes, these horizontal pounces, I like to call them, also vary drastically depending on how much charge you have on your Q. I like to define it as the Goldilocks zone, whereas if you charge it too much, it just sends you completely forward. You can't actually tap strafe out of that or even lurch out of it. If you don't do it enough, then you basically don't go anywhere and it might as well not be done at all. But if you find that area just in between them, which I like to coin as the Goldilocks zone, like I said, then you'll get the perfect amount of speed and the perfect amount of distance to perform this. But enough talking about it, let's just get to the demonstration. That's one to the left, and this is one to the right.